Hello my dear people, you're welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. So I saw this video, these videos really, because they're going to be two videos that I'm going to be playing for you guys. There is no way you watch these videos and you would not be put to tears, especially the one that has the little girl in it. Anyways, I'm going to be playing the video for you guys to see. Alright, but before then, I want to please encourage you to go ahead and support the channel by subscribing to the channel, especially if this is your first time of coming across the channel. And for those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And also please do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that every time I upload a video on this channel, you will get notified. Thank you so much for the support. Now please watch the videos, and afterwards would come my comments on it.
We are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. We shouldn't have to protest because y'all are treating us wrong. We do this because we need to and have rights. I come here today to talk about how I feel. And I feel like that we are treated differently than other people. And I don't like how we're treated. And just because of our color doesn't mean anything to me. I believe that
you're doing great. You're doing a great job.
Don't stop. Do not stop.
We are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. We shouldn't have to protest because y'all are treating us wrong. We do this because we need to and have rights.
Go ahead. Let her talk. Go ahead.
I've been born and raised in Charlotte, and I never felt this way till now. And I can't stand how we're treated. And it's a shame that our fathers and mothers are killed, and we can't even see them anymore.
That's right.
It's a shame that we have to go to their graveyard and bury them. And we have tears, and we shouldn't have tears. We need our fathers and mothers to be by our side.
Hey friends, and well, let me be honest, probably before this video is over, some of you will consider me as an enemy. But I wanted to share a couple minutes about my thoughts, not only on the tragedies that we have been experiencing over these past months, and especially these last couple of days with the shootings of our black men, but what I'm coming to learn over my 23-year journey of being a white man, living and ministering amongst my black family here in several inner cities of Chicago. And I'm going to speak very black and white because, let's be honest, it's a black and white issue. I want to take you to the book of Exodus, chapter 1, and I wanted to share a little bit of what took place prior to the rise of Moses. When I read that, it talked about that the Pharaoh became concerned and very fearful that the Hebrew slaves were growing in number and in power. So in order to maintain their oppression, he put upon them great labor. He put upon the Hebrew slaves cruelty to keep them down. However, they still grew. And so he brought together some midwives, and he instructed them that when a Hebrew boy was born, kill him. Well, these midwives did not follow. and the Hebrew slaves continued to grow. Eventually, the Pharaoh became so hatred and towards those Hebrew slaves that he made a decree. He put out an order that male baby boy Hebrew slaves were to be killed by casting them into the Nile River. Let's look at America. We brought blacks into this country as slaves. We never intended them to be anything other than a slave. But they began to grow in number and in power, and eventually they fought their way to some freedom. So we became even more cruel, and to keep our black Americans down, we lynched. But yet they rose. So then we used the welfare system, the criminal justice system, to keep them down, to contain them, to destroy them. But yet they rose, and they're rising. Then we built prisons and jails to hold them. Yet they rose. And so now we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, sending out a decree: kill them. So until we admit that when we wrote this Constitution that all men are created equal, that we never intended to include our black brothers and sisters, our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go. So I'm going to say this to my white fellow Americans, that the bloodshed that is on its way is not on the hands of our fellow black Americans, but is on our hands. We are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge that we do not value our black brothers and sisters as equal individuals or equal Americans as us white men. And to my black brothers and sisters, the racial issues, as I've said, have been there from the very foundation. But why do we see it more? Because there's a shifting. See, us white men have been at the head since the foundation. But we've had a black president. And you know, we've done everything in our power to keep him from really changing things. Now we have another minority rising to the top, a white female. What does that say? Those of us who are white men who have been at the head are now starting to see and fear that we are going to become the tail. And we know what we've done to you. And so now we're fearful that you're going to do to us what we have done to you. But I will say this. I've lived in a black community for 23 years. I've never been treated the way that this country has treated my black Americans. So I call out my white Americans to say we better heed, repent, acknowledge, and change. Because if we don't, I just want to again say this. The bloodshed that we will experience is on our hands, not the hands of our fellow black Americans. I welcome your comments. I welcome your feedback. Hit me up on Facebook or go to my webpage at www.studio2911.org. Again, that's studio2911.org. I don't necessarily know the answer, except for us white Americans need to repent, acknowledge the lies that we have taught, acknowledge our value system of equality. It is not here, and it does not include our black brothers and sisters. And we need to change, and we need to change now. Thanks for your time. Bless you.
So that's it, my people. And for Christ's sake, being black or brown skin doesn't make us criminals against God's creation. And it doesn't make us less of a human. It's really quite unfortunate when racial discrimination is experienced, especially when it has to do with kids like this, seeing or experiencing this. We're all created in the image and likeness of God. And I don't know if the white-skinned pastors preach this part of the Bible about us all being created in the image and likeness of God. In other words, the same God who created the white-skinned person also created the black or the brown-skinned person. And it has not been scientifically proven that the internal organs of a white-skinned person is white, while that of a brown or black-skinned person is black. It has also not been proven that once you die as a white-skinned person, you're automatically qualified to go to heaven, while the black or the brown-skinned person goes to hell. Please, if there is any proofs of such, please do let me know in the comment section, okay? In other words, like I was trying to say, if you as a white-skinned person who is an expert at racial discrimination and oppressing the blacks and their voices, when you're no more, of course, no human being will live on this earth forever. If you're a Christian, you should know that. So, have you ever asked yourself, if you're a Christian, where exactly you're going to go to? If you're a Christian, you should be familiar with heaven and hell, right? Now, have you ever wondered, you with your expertise at racial discrimination, where you will be going to? My brothers and my sisters, it is hell that awaits any person who is an expert at racial discrimination and suppressing the voice of others. It is a sin, not just against the black people, but it is a sin to God. So, I will not come here to preach or tell you guys to stop the racial discrimination. Oh no, I wouldn't do that. I have only passed my message. If you're familiar with heaven and hell, okay, if you're familiar with the Bible, if you're a Christian, determine where you want to go to. If you're an expert at racial discrimination. With your racial discrimination that is a sin against the black people, that is a sin against God, do you think you would make heaven with it? If you like, be a pastor. If you like, preach from today to tomorrow. If you have traces of racial discrimination in you, my brothers and my sisters, you know where awaits you. That said, I'm going to be ending my case here, and I'll let you guys contribute to what I have said. Please feel free to drop your comments, opinions and thoughts about it in the comments section below. Okay, not just about what I have said, but what about what the little girl and that man has said. All right, so thank you for watching, and like I earlier said, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and also please turn on the notification bell so that you get updated every time I upload a video on this channel. Like and share this video, and thank you so very much for watching. Bye bye, see you in the next video.